You know, it's gonna piss somebody off. I always, you know, it's funny. I always start a video off saying that because I just know it's fucking true. Because I know the way the world and this country has been brainwashed into this stupid thinking for some reason. And I hate that it takes somebody like me to just point this shit out. I don't know. But I have said this shit for well over a fucking decade, and I am on record saying that because I pissed off a couple people saying this that are actually good friends of mine. I actually dated a teacher one time too, funny enough. So, I made her mad, but my whole thing is I do not believe teachers deserve raises, and I'm going to explain why in some pretty okay detailing here. Number one, they don't teach you fucking shit. And what I mean by that is they don't teach you anything worth knowing nowadays. Math is constantly evolving to a point where it just doesn't fucking matter. Because all the mathematics you're going to learn in school anyways, it's just going to resort to you trying to use a calculator on your phone to subtract the change that you're going to have to pay at a restaurant. That's what it comes down to, is you're just learning how to work a cash register. They're not teaching you anything worth knowing. History doesn't seem to fucking matter because we're just deleting that shit like every single day. We're just taking down statues and erasing history as if it never happened. Science doesn't matter because, apparently there are more genders than there are atoms in the fucking universe at this point. Even though there's two. But, you can't say that shit nowadays, and it's now supported by the scientists, who are clearly not bought out, by the way, or not biased by any means. And if you don't know where the origins of the term gender, where all that shit came from, you should probably look into that. It's pretty funny. If you don't want to look into it, I'll go ahead and tell you. It was actually created by a pedophile. Who fucking knew, right? PE is fucking useless because it's like a free period. So basically all it is like you got these fucking out of shape coaches. They're always out of shape too. Tell me one fucking PE coach you've ever had or ever knew that was actually in shape. And you only see it in fucking movies and shit. They're always fat and out of shape, and they're also the health teacher for some reason. And, nobody even fucking takes health class serious, or much less even pays attention. I had health class. You know what we fucking did? I took naps. That's what I did. And you know what? He still gave me a 100 in my fucking thing. Art class. I used to take art classes because I used to really like art until I realized how fucking stupid and wasted time it is, which is why I laugh at these fucking idiots that go to college for art majors. If you're an art major or whatever, I'm sorry, just you wasted your career. I don't know what to tell you. You can make more money like drawing shit on Google or whatever and just selling it on Instagram than you would as an actual artist, having an actual job as an artist. Anyways, I had this teacher named Miss Hogue, and this fucking bitch, we were making a portfolio. Damn, I can't remember what it was called. A portfolio, right? She came up to me and she goes, "All right, Justin, it looks good, but you need to fix this detailing right here." And I was like, "Okay, yes, ma'am." She turned around. I didn't do fucking shit. I waited 5 minutes and went back up to her and showed her the exact same thing. She goes, "That looks very good. You did a good job. I like the improvement." Fucking English class is just stupid. Nobody fucking cares about that. Literature and everything. We're deleting books. You can't talk about this shit. Reading and literature. All these classes are just so fucking obsolete. Nobody fucking cares. They don't teach you any fucking life lessons. I had to learn how to change a tire on my fucking own. I didn't have a dad to teach me how to do that. School definitely didn't fucking teach me how to do that. Taxes too. I had to learn how to do all of this shit by myself, as you probably have as well. Unless you've had somebody who actually taught you, then the way to fucking go. But you know who didn't teach me this important shit that you need to learn on a daily basis? A fucking teacher. And they want these fucking raises. The only thing I feel bad for them, well, I don't really feel bad, but you know what I mean, but the only thing I would even feel bad for them is the sense that they have to spend their own money on supplies. But at the same time, supplies are really not that fucking expensive. I know a lot of people get upset about, the cost of shit and like that. But it's not that fucking expensive. Just don't go to McDonald's one fucking time. I know somebody's gonna I don't fucking care, dude. That's my whole thing, is people are so willingly able to spend money on fast food, video games that cost $60 for unfinished things with microtransactions, but my god, you can't spend the $5 on fucking Crayola pins. I'm talking way too fast. I need to slow it down. Okay, just slow it down, Justin. You ever notice how they teach you how to write in cursive? It's part of the thing. It used to be back in the day. I don't know how it is now, but you used to be required to learn how to write in cursive to graduate, and nobody does it. Nobody fucking uses cursive anymore. Nobody even knows how to read cursive anymore. I mean, sure, you might, but Like, I know goddamn well my kid's never gonna learn how to read that shit. I can't read cursive either. I don't even know how I got that far. You know, it's another thing too is teachers will sit there and, you know, it's so funny, like, oh, I'm so smart, I'm so educated because I'm a teacher, but they'll literally grade your papers by getting the answers out of the back of a textbook. It's the funniest fucking shit. I never thought that writing was even important. Like, oh, you didn't use punctuation right, you didn't spell that word right. Who fucking cares? You understood what I was saying in the first place. It literally does not matter anymore. That's why I get, like, I laugh at people who get mad at me if I don't spell the word your right. I know how to spell your. I know how to spell all the versions of your and how to use them in the right context. Do I fucking care on doing that? I absolutely do not. It does not fucking matter. It absolutely does not matter. You understand what I'm saying. Who fucking cares? Move the fuck on. Quit being a beta little bitch. Fucking hate this shit, man. I don't like teachers. I don't... Yeah, it's a hard job. I understand that, but you chose the job. You chose to waste your time with children who don't respect you in a classroom. And the ones that do respect you, most likely they probably don't. They just like you because you're really easy on them and they don't have to do much in your class. That's pretty much what it comes down to. I don't fucking understand this shit. And what's even worse now is they're trying to enforce critical race theory, which is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. I am now a horrible person because I'm white. Did you know that? I'm a straight white male. I'm a terrible fucking person. I ought to be executed. That's what they're trying to teach you. Maybe not the execution thing, but everything, all the problems in the world in this country come back to me. Making a YouTube video and somehow it's my fault that little Jimmy John or whoever in the ghetto can't get a fucking job or won't leave the ghetto. I don't even understand how you can't leave the ghetto. Just fucking leave. I've been homeless. I was homeless for a while. You know what I did? I got $10 and I got a gym membership. And I took a shower, got really cleaned up. I cut my hair and I got a job. I don't understand how people can't fucking do this shit. And you know what? Oh, it's because you were white. You were able to do that. No, it was fucking Little Caesars. They'll hire anybody. I was the only white kid that worked there. Whoa! It's just so fucking, like, asinine. It's the epitome of fucking stupidity. And I hate the fact that these are the people that you look at for terms of intelligence. It doesn't take fucking dick to be a fucking teacher. It absolutely doesn't. They don't teach you a goddamn thing worth fucking knowing. Fight me, I don't fucking care. I'll debate anybody on this shit. It's bullshit. It's 100% fucking bullshit. It's so funny that, like, with the way technology and shit is nowadays, like, you know, we got our cell phones, but nobody knows each other's phone numbers now. Like, we have calculators in our pockets that we can carry around everywhere, but nobody knows how to do math anymore. My fucking baby mama is about to be 25. She doesn't know how to do long division. She fucking graduated. How the fuck you graduate and not know how to do long division? That is 4th grade work. I did long division in 4th grade. That's elementary school. Obviously it doesn't fucking matter because nobody uses it anymore. If you have a simple mathematic problem that you need to get resolved, you just whip out your fucking iPhone or your budget phone Android and that's how you fucking deal with it. I don't... It's just... Fuck... It's so fucking stupid, dude. I don't give a fuck about teachers. I don't. You know, it's so sad. And I know somebody's going to laugh at me and I don't care because I have never regretted this one time. And I've proved the stereotype wrong. I dropped out 1 week before graduation. Did you know that? Have I ever brought that up? I dropped out of high school 1 week before I graduated. I went to prom and that was the last thing I fucking cared about. My teacher, I was already 18. Not my teacher, but my principal came up to me and told me, like, oh, well, you have to show up to school or we're going to call the police. I'm like, I'm 18, I have a job, and I live on my own. Truancy doesn't matter to me. You can't get me in trouble with that shit. He goes, all right, we'll see about that. I'm like, all right, Mr. College-educated professor dude. And guess what? Officer Barrio showed up to my house. He asked me, are you Justin? I said, yes. And he said, all right, can you sign this? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, how old are you? And I said, 18. He goes, all right, have a good day. I've never got a GED. I never, I never not did it, but I did go back to try to get my GED 2 different times. The first time I just decided, no, I need to work because I was homeless at the time. So I was like, I have to focus on work and I don't have time for this shit because I got to make that money. The second time I was actually told I made the highest grades in the entire class. The lady who was, she was a teacher, but not really, but I think she was more of like a glorified librarian, but she was sitting there telling me like, I don't know why you're even in here. How did you not graduate? And I'm like, because I didn't fucking care. And I started thinking about it. I was like, I don't fucking care about this either. A diploma doesn't mean fucking dick. And you know what I did? I started working for Pizza Hut, and within 5 months I became a general manager, and I had my own store, and I started making fucking bank. I know people talk shit about people who work at pizza jobs or whatever, like food jobs. Management makes fucking money, especially in Texas. You make some really good fucking money. Like, I made enough money where I didn't even need a roommate, and I could afford to have a 2-bedroom house. And I had an office. But I still had people live with me anyways because, it gets kind of lonely. You kind of want to have somebody to talk to. But it doesn't fucking matter. Now I still have money. You've heard me talk about this before. I have money. I live comfortably. I have a good job. I have really great benefits. I make more money technically now. Well, no. What I'm working at now, I actually make probably about 30% less than I would have as a GM. But I have better benefits here than I did at the other job. I feel like I'm a lot happier at this job. And I don't hate my job. I don't hate my life waking up. The only reason I don't like waking up is because I only get like 2 to 3 hours of sleep a day. That's it. I like going to work. I don't like calling in. I like being there. It's not a big deal. Teachers, I don't know, man. Like, if you hate your fucking job, you hate trying to reach these kids. You can't do this fucking shit right. You can't teach them anything. If they're not motivated or whatever, it's probably because it's you. It's not the kids. You just suck at your job.